Scary story time on my first ghost experience while I make slime. So get your money's worth and let it drain. I was about like 4 or 5 when this happened. I was between the ages of like 4 and 5, okay? They presented themselves as like the Disney princesses. Obviously, I know they weren't the freaking Disney princesses, but that's what they presented themselves as. I feel like this is what started my ghost encounters. Literally, I was playing with my dolls, right? And next thing you know, freaking Ariel started moving on her own, basically telling me to like hurt my other dolls. So I'm obviously saying like, stop, no. And my grandma comes over and she sees it. My grandma ended up like being weirded out by this, and she throws the dolls that I had away. So I used to believe that they were my imaginary friends because like you can't really explain a ghost to a child. So like I didn't really understand the concept of ghosts. But they started to become really harmful. This is what I mean, right? Basically, they would tell me to like jump out of the window or go get like a weapon and harm myself with it. My grandma and my mom, they didn't know that they became harmful. They didn't know until this one freaking incident. We were literally in the car, right? And it's nighttime. And out of nowhere, I start to hear like, you know, my imaginary friends. They're basically telling me to roll down the window so I can hear them clearly. What was strange about this altercation is that I couldn't see them. And any other time, like, I seen them, I knew what they looked like, but this time when I rolled the window down, I couldn't see anything, I could just hear them. They started to sound more distorted, right? Before they had the voices of the Disney princesses, but now they just sounded off. And they're like, come on, come play with us. Like, you know, your mom won't mind. And I'm like, I can't play with you right now. You know, I'm in the car. And they're like, jump out of the window. And I'm like, I can't jump out of the window. Mind you, I'm like 4 or 5 having this conversation with nobody. Look at my little cousin. They keep telling me to jump out the window, and the more they talk, the more they sound demonic. At this point, my grandma and my mom were like, who are you talking to? And I was like, oh, I'm talking to, you know, the Disney princesses. And my grandma was like, stop talking to them right now, because literally, the back door unlocked on its own for me to just open the door and jump. Like, it literally unlocked on its own. So my mom, she pulled the car over, and my grandma said a prayer and everything. And ever since that time, I have not heard anything from them. But I have had ghost encounters ever since then. I feel like that's what awoken it. Because the next on the list is Young Kishi. If you know, you know. But